All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Wayne's World Garage. Today, we're trying to solve another problem. And the problem is, if you look at the last two videos, and I'll send you links in the description, when Paul and I were putting up the beams, 2x12 white oak beams, which were really heavy, and the posts, 8x8 by 15-foot long pressure-treated posts, we just didn't have the strength to lift them into place. So what I did is I used the tractor, as you can see, with a front end loader, and it's kind of, it worked okay, but not as good as it could. The trusses are going to be a whole different story because they're at least 4 foot higher and they have to get raised up a little bit higher. So how do we solve it? So we started thinking a little bit. Yes, I do think sometimes. And here's something we had lying around. We hardly ever use it. It's this thing from Tractor Supply Company. You know, everybody makes them. This is made by County Line, not a sponsor. And what the gig is here is it goes on the back of your 3-point hitch. Well, today it's on the back of my iMatch, which works just fine. I said, Kenny, how do I mount this thing on the front of the tractor? So what I said to Kenny is, like, I need something like a 3-point hitch, okay, which goes on my front end loader attachment. So we started thinking about it a little bit. I looked on the interweb, didn't see a whole lot. And this is the front end loader on the 4400. But I have this bracket from Artilian, which is quite expensive. And the bracket is for using other implements, such as the grapple, which is really cool, and the forks, so you can load pallets and stuff like that, and that's kind of cool. So I've got this little thing here. Now, how do we make it work? And Kenny said me something. He said, look, here's some prototype versions of something that they were making, okay? And these are little brackets which fit on the Artilian rig. I'll call it the rig bracket, and they're meant for attaching a 3-point hitch implement to the front of your tractor. And I say, well, that's pretty slick. And Kenny, Bolt-On Hooks Incorporated, said, check them out. So he lent me a pair of these things. So I picked them up, and I don't know if they're gonna work. We're gonna try it right now. But if you look at them, they are built like a tank. This is 1/4-inch steel, and it's just built massively. So I think there's a left bracket and a right bracket. You put them close together, then you got your pins, and I don't know, let's see if it works. Now they've got these little pins, which I assume are for here, so it doesn't go out too far. I'll take these pins and save them for later. And the way this has worked, there's an upper thing and a lower thing here that goes on here and here, so it really is pretty well captivated. And putting these on, frankly, has been a whole lot easier than putting the forks on. The forks are a little bit of a challenge to put on. Slide together like that, which is kind of interesting because there's a huge gap there. How do I close that gap? And that's bigger than 24 inches. Let me think about this. I'm doing something wrong. And that makes even more sense because these little pins he gave me now go through there. Brilliant. Kenny probably told me that, but I wasn't paying enough attention. But that's kind of interesting anyway, huh? So now these go here. There you go. That kind of looks like it's going to work almost a little bit. So let's get the other thing and see how that looks. So these will slide back and forth. Let's see how this thing's going to work. Maybe I should see if it fits through these holes here. Looks pretty sketchy to me. Huh, they fit right in there. Sweet. Well, that's how that works. And then go. Got your toes, slide that in there. That's pretty slick. I think to be safe, we'll put little pins on it. All right, I said ruler, I meant tape measure. So what we're going to do is we will attach the tape measure to this thing and see how many feet we get out of it. Maybe we got to lower it first. Right. Smooth hydraulics. Put a little C-clamp on here. Put this thing in here. let's see what we got here. Actually make it very precise. There we go. 0 inches is right about there. So let's raise her up and see where she goes. Well, it's 14 feet up, which is barely the minimum, believe it or not. And I'm kind of tipped back over the bracket. So let me pull it forward and see what I get a little bit. You'll see. Can you see this? Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Ten feet, 11, 12, 13 feet. So here's what we got here. Read it and weep. 13 foot 2 inches. Boy, I wish it went a little bit higher. But I believe this might work. So the top of my posts are 9 foot. So the header comes down, starts at 8 foot, goes a foot high, 12 inches. So that's 9. The trusses are going to be 4 foot high. So 9 plus 4. Real quick, 13. So I think we're going to be able to make this work like this without getting a bucket truck or something like that. So that's kind of cool. So I can't wait to try it out. Certainly, I want to take one of the headers down and recut that. We'll do that. This is a much, much safer way of doing it. How cool is this? So thanks, Kenny from Bolt-On Grab Hooks. If you guys need grab hooks for your tractor buckets, get them from Kenny's Bolt-On Grab Hooks. Made in America by Americans. Drop forged hooks. The other guys on Fleabay and Amazon and stuff like that, made in China by Chinamen. Take care, guys. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave a comment if you got a better way of doing this, because I sure as heck don't. Take care. Thanks a lot.